You want to just shine some light on the poster?
Oh, that is a strobe. It's a little old. It's been there for a while, back when we had, 8 members or so.
Yeah, Regulus is still on there.
But yeah, I'd say it's time for me to start putting some flyers up again for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they did net some responses at least.
Yeah, oh yeah, like it did work. It just depends on the area and who's looking. And with all these Pokemon Go players around and everybody actually walking around instead of being in their cars, there might actually be a even bigger point to start flyering again.
Assuming they don't have their faces stuck on their phones.
Yeah. Always come up for air every now and then.
Does looking at the posters, seeing old members bring back a sense of nostalgia to the old days?
It does for me a little bit, but it kind of makes me a little bit more forlorn too, just because it's like we used to have this nice big presence with multiple members and all the go get 'em attitude, and it's now it's going to be harder to find people now that the whole superhero craze isn't up and at 'em right now. So it's just
right.
It's a mixed feeling. It's like, yeah, we were something pretty sweet back in the day, but now it's kind of like it's kind of whittled its way back to just the core members again. So
yeah, and it's really hard to tell when someone's being genuine in their interest in joining too. Like we had a member like a month or two ago now, but he seemed like genuinely interested in joining up. He joined us on was it one patrol or two?
no, he joined us for one, walked around, even saw us handing us some care packages, and I don't know, even I guess that wasn't even enough to keep his interest, because we never heard back from him after that.
Yeah, just up and disappeared.
No explanation, not even like a sorry guys, it's not my thing, but thanks anyway, which would be nice. I mean, if you're not interested, at least just kind of let us know afterwards. You're like, yeah, this came up, or just it's not my thing, sorry.
Right.
Kind of on a professional level, it's just kind of like applying for a job. Like if you get a job somewhere, or if an employer is going through employees, they're like, thanks for applying, but the position has been filled, kind of deal. Like it's like some sort of response, even if it's not, hey, I'm going to be joining the team.
Right.
It's kind of a courtesy.
It's unfortunate to say the least. Like I at least want to know like what it is that we did that turned him off, if it was something that we did, what changed his mind.
Yeah, any feedback would be great.
And like I'd already sent the guy 2 emails by the time I realized he wasn't coming back, and I make a point to not harass people about it if it becomes clear that they're no longer interested.
Right.
But if I had the chance, I'd definitely like to know what changed his mind.
And like we try to tell people too, like you don't have to wear like crazy colorful getup either. You don't have to wear a mask, you don't have to wear body armor or a cape or anything like that. You can just wear civilian clothes if you really want, come around with us and just be an extra pair of eyes and ears.
Right.
And part of what I think it is that in their minds, it's a lot more glorified than when they see the reality. Like, to any of the viewers who have been watching the videos that our good cameraman here has been putting up, a lot of it's just walking around, and then if we happen to find something that we can assist with, then we do. And we're in Oshawa, so it's not exactly the most eventful of places. Like it's not like we're walking downtown Toronto every night.
Yeah, you hear about more stuff than you actually see stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's enough stuff happening that us being out here is definitely having a positive effect. But, like, I guess when people see that it's just walking around and pretty much shooting the shit 90% of the time, paying attention to what's going on around you, mind you. But, a lot of it's just keeping up to date with your team members and basically holding a conversation until you see something that needs your attention.
Yeah, a lot of people are kind of disappointed when it's not all about kicking ass and taking names, I guess.
Yeah, which is sort of disheartening, I guess. But
like, you guys didn't beat up any henchmen today? Oh man, I don't want to join anymore. This isn't fun. I didn't get to punch anyone on patrol. This is what I'm looking for. Sorry. I didn't know that beating people up was a part of being a humanitarian. That's why we don't carry weapons. Even if it was legal, you don't help people with weapons, you hurt people with weapons. So.
Right.
Like, I mean, I'm not going to name names as to who it was, but we had an RLSH that we've patrolled with try and argue with us that, what was it he had on him? It was an expendable baton?
I'm not sure who you're referring to. The caution was quite
No, this was
violent.
This was relatively recent. When it was more than just the two of us. Like I said, I don't want to name names and point out anyone specific, so.
Oh, I don't recall, to be honest then.
Yeah, he had like an extendable baton or something, and we were trying to tell him that even if he had a security license for it, it's not really legal for him to be carrying around. And even if it was, like, what good is that going to do if you come across something? Like, if you're in a situation where you need to use that, it's probably something that needs to be left up to the police anyways. And your focus should be on getting anybody who's in danger out.
Right.
Well, I know, it's like probably one of those real-life superhero misconceptions that people have. I mean, I don't know, PJ, if you have any misconceptions that you've heard of about the real-life superhero community, but that's definitely one of them, is that we're, you know, out here to kick ass and take names, or that we're out collectively trying to take down gangs or, you know, drug houses.
Right.
And stuff like that. Like, that's just not really viable, or what we're doing.
Yeah. Like, contrary to popular beliefs, we do know what we're doing, and we aim where we know we're going to hit. To put it bluntly.
Like, even if we did know where, like, a crack house was, and people were actively making, like, really hard illicit substances, we're not going to come in there with, like, nunchucks and, like, sais and, like, bows and staffs and stuff like that, and start taking them out and thinking that we're gonna.
Are we going this way, or is where we going?
Doesn't matter to me. I mean, if you want to go down there and end up going to Memorial, we can. But yeah, we're not just gonna, even if we knew where it was, we're not just gonna bust in and, like, act like we own the place and risk our lives that way.
It's almost 12 if you want to take a bike ride.
Yeah.
No rush tonight. Just, yeah, you guys go as long as you feel comfortable. Sure.
That would probably be one of those things where we would collect evidence of this being like a hot spot in an area where these, you know, drug dealers and you know, the place where the drugs get made would be. We'd have to, like, scope it out. We'd have to take pictures. We'd have to, like, investigate and see if it's actually a thing, and then once we collected enough evidence, we would then hand it over to the police. Similar to, like, private investigators.
Right.
Like, I mean, we're not the SWAT team. We can't just jump in there and just start taking people out and try to go all the Expendables on it. Like,
right.
It's not one of our. It's not what we signed up for, you know.
Yeah.
Like, going back to misconceptions there, one of the big ones that people have is that we're out of touch with reality, basically.
Yeah, we're crazy people wearing masks, thinking we're, like, real superheroes, you know, like we've got powers or something.
Yeah, and that we're deluded, but you know, obviously that's not the case. I'm probably more in touch with reality than most people.
Right.
Like, you know, most people don't know what's going on overseas. You know, what's going on with North Korea right now. You know, just things of that nature. And when you pay attention to what's going on with the world at large, it sort of helps you put together a bigger picture of why some things happen.
The end game.
Yeah. And you also get to see that, you know, there's people doing this pretty much all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
There's RLSH in Japan. United States, obviously.
England.
Yeah, the UK, Mexico, Super Barrio, I think his name is. But yeah, like, I'm not some basement dweller like most people would like to believe.
Yeah, we're not teenage boys living in our mom's basement with illusions of grandeur. We're simply just citizens that like to go out to our community and be active and actively try to help people in need.
Yeah, I think one kind of stereotype I've seen is people think like a real life superhero has the mindset of being like a dark, brooding Batman or Rorschach type character who is very antisocial and looking for revenge. And
To be fair, there are some who kind of play into that stereotype, yes.
right.
But as with all stereotypes, you can't base the vast majority on a small quantity.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, we can't really control who goes out there and puts on a mask and a cape. Any person with a mental disability could throw on a mask and a cape and call themselves a real life superhero.
Right.
We don't really have control over that.
I mean, in my day-to-day life, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I'm social. You know, I don't really socialize all that much with my friends, but that's because I'm insanely busy during the day. It's like, oh, what's that? You want to meet up for drinks? Sure. Can you wait till 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, same. I mean, I don't really have a 9-to-5 like regular Joe job. I have a bunch of different small entrepreneurial things that I try to do to make money on the side and whatnot. So my source of income is sporadic and depends on what customers and clientele I get for whatever project I'm working on at the time. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty social. I've got friends of different communities who like to go and meet at Tim Hortons and have a few cups of coffee and chat about things.
And me, if I go out, it's usually at some hipster bar in Toronto.
I definitely have a more online presence in my civilian life than I do have a out in public presence.
Yeah, and that's because like you can do that pretty much anywhere. Like you can be on the train, at home, wherever you are, just flip out your phone, like bam, I'm being social.
Right.
Sort of like that one South Park episode where they're all playing World of Warcraft, and you know, Stan's dad comes in. He's like, "Why don't you go outside and hang out with your friends? You're always spending inside, not being social." And then Stan's like, "Dad, I am being social. I'm playing a massive MMORPG and using TeamSpeak to talk with my friends."
Right.
Dumbass. And then Stan's dad's like, "I'm not a dumbass." But yeah, that's humor aside. Like, they were actually being interactive and social. It's just not, you know, getting outside and getting some fresh air and in the sun kind of social of like the 70s and 80s.
Right.
Like our parents, they wanted to go do something, they had to go outside. They had to like go to the local, you know, burgers and fries joint, hang outside, and all the convertibles with the all that 80s music, and play some Fleetwood Mac in their car, and you know, go to like those drive-in movies and stuff like that. And just different times. When the modern age of computers and Facebook and all that started taking hold, that's when everyone just started not really going outside and having a social life. Most of them just have like school and then a job. Maybe go out to the club and get drunk and consider that a good time, I guess. But yeah, I mean, other than that, they just go home and go on their computer.
Right.
Or Netflix and chill or whatever. So So I don't know. I guess it's a good thing the Pokemon Go is getting everyone off their butts and getting some cardio in and walking around. Just
Right.
as long as they don't walk off into traffic and actually, like I said, come up for air every now and then and look around and
Right.
socialize. Just don't want to see any Team Mystics and Team Valors getting into fisticuffs because of electronic Pokemon. Be a shame.
You know you're supposed to wait until the finished crossing, right?
Nobody does that. As long as they got a good 5 feet between you and the car, they just zoom by.
Yeah, it's actually the law now though. We were supposed to wait until I got the crossing complete.
True. But when was the last time you saw a police officer arrest someone for jaywalking, right? So. Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. Speaking of the police and what they kind of do, most of the arrests and stuff happen from kind of roadside laws being broken, like speeding or accidents or license plates and stickers being out of date and stuff like that. You don't really see police walking around on the streets too much. Maybe during the day in Oshawa we might have 1 or 2 officers that actually patrol around King and Simcoe and stuff like that, but most of the crime that's committed is normally drug or traffic related.
Okay, so if you guys just want to summarize the night.
Yeah, welcome back. Aftershock and Nameless Crusader here from the Justice Crew of Oshawa, a subsect of the Katalysts of Canada. Tonight we walked around, just kept an eye out for everyone, just kept our ears to the ground, made sure that we were receptive to anyone in need of our help, any homeless people in need of any of our supplies, lots of Pokemon Go players out and around, looking for Pokemon and whatnot, so we like to keep an eye out, make sure no one's walking into traffic, no one's getting into fights. Pretty quiet night, which is pretty odd considering it's a long weekend. Any long weekends that we have around here normally increases the chance of people being intoxicated, confrontational.
Aggressiveness.
Sorry?
Aggressiveness, confrontation.
Yeah, just added sense of aggressiveness. There's more potential for drug dealers and stuff like that, looking for clientele with everyone being out and about during the dark, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a nice quiet night. We haven't had to, call in anything. We haven't had to intercede in any aggressive citizens or anything like that. No one was hurt. It was really nice for the most part just to get out and get some cardio. But we do like to come out here, rain or shine. Earlier today we thought it was probably going to be like thunderstorms and downpours. We kind of just said the heck with it, we're still going to go out and patrol, and that's kind of what we do.
One time I left all my gear in my bag after it got all wet from patrolling while it was raining, and it got all moldy.
Yep, superhero outfit upkeep is always good.
So yeah, like Aftershock was saying, aside from the big group of Pokemon Go players, which there's actually still some here, wasn't too much going on tonight other than a brief interaction with a police officer just to,
Keep tabs and check in on us.
Yeah.
Making sure we're cool. But yeah, so the next event, or bigger event with us, hopefully if everything goes well and nothing comes up, is the Katalysts are going to be making an appearance at the Oshawa Grid Fest. Not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 Sundays from now we'll be showing up at the Oshawa Grid Fest for a couple hours and So if you're there, feel free to come up and say hi and ask us how we're doing. There's going to be plenty of police officers walking around as well, so you know, if we're not in sight to tell that something's going on, please do refer to the numerous officers that are walking around if you do have any concerns or any emergencies. And we're always looking for new members, so if this is something you're remotely interested at all, you can always contact us at thekatalysts@live.com or at our new website, jco.webs.com, or even leave a comment in the comments section and someone will get back to you.
Okay, great. I think that's a wrap.